Deb? Okay. Good evening, everyone. So we're going to continue on. We're going to go right to our work session with the city manager. I know we have a special night tonight, so I'm going to jump in. We're going to go right to these proclamations.
There's a proclamation first.
Okay.
Yes.
So, got a microphone up there, Ally? Probably don't need one. So, good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming by tonight to our Council of the Whole meeting. We have a special night. I know some of you are here for that tonight. Tonight we're going to honor our police, our women police from past years, going back to the late 1940s when they started here in Hackensack. So a while back, a good friend of ours who's here tonight, John Chizulo, had mentioned this to Albert Dibb about his mom was a, what was her actual title, John? Just, they were like meter maids. These are the ladies you saw in the vehicles, the three-wheeled vehicles driving around town. School traffic police was their official title, but they were all over town back in the day. I remember that when I was little. So I'm going to read the proclamation first, and I'm going to show all these beautiful plaques the way they're set up. And I want to thank the clerk staff for the wonderful job they did with these pictures and putting these all together. And I want to also thank Mr. Chizulo for the stuff he sent me as well. So it reads, whereas beginning in the late 40s, the Hackensack Police Department began appointing and training civilian women special police officers who did not carry weapons but had police powers. Their duties included checking parking meters, crossing school children, and helping keep order in the city movie theaters and retail stores. And whereas in the summer of '55, the Hackensack Police Department Traffic Bureau started training these women to use three-wheeled motorcycles for meter enforcement and supervision of city parking areas. And whereas, based on information available at the time, this was the first time women officers undertook such training in the state of New Jersey. And whereas Betty Chizulo, Betty Denise were among the first such women to be trained, with many to follow, including Pauline Battalion, Susan DeVincentis, Gertrude Alanise, Marion DiNapoli, Josephine Layton, Catherine Thurchok, and Margaret Cuff. And whereas these uniformed women officers performed a variety of duties, including meter enforcement, lot attendance, protecting property, school duties, and reuniting lost children with their parents, all the while demonstrating bravery, compassion, and professionalism. And all while most also worked other jobs, such as Betty Denise as a seamstress by trade, who made the uniforms that were worn by these women. And whereas these uniformed women officers were also providers for their families and role models for the community, especially for young women who would see expanded horizons in the field of law enforcement and beyond. Now, therefore, I, John P. LaBrosse, Jr., Mayor of the City of Hackensack, with all the members of this City Council, and on behalf of the entire Hackensack community, in recognition for their contributions to these trailblazing officers, express our sincere gratitude and admiration. So this is a great thing. It's a great thing. You know, these ladies are no longer probably, I don't think any of them are with us anymore. But it's a great way to honor them, and it's also great for the families that are here tonight to see them receive these honors. So I'm going to show you, I guess, how best to walk these around. Okay, so this is basically what's on the plaques. What you're seeing on the screen is all different pictures. Some more. I know, John, you gave me some. We were able to acquire some more. Yeah. So this is the one, John, of your mom with that little boy in that picture is John Chizulo. So it's a great shot from years ago. And he's going to be hung somewhere in City Hall at a place to be determined later. Do you guys figure where we're putting these?
Yeah, we already have the pictures. These are theirs. These are theirs.
Oh, these are for you?
Yeah,
Oh, my
that's
goodness.
for Mr. Chizulo to take. There's one for
Okay.
James to take.
So these are for you. So, John, you want to come up first?
like to thank everyone on the city council. It's been a long, long time dream of mine to get my mom honored and the women that were my half moms, because they really took care of me. My mom was divorced, so I ran the streets and these women they took care of me. So it was my honor to do this for them, and, you know, it's important to me to get this hung, and I'm very proud.
Yep.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. My mother's wearing my grandmother's badge.
Okay.
These are my grandmother's original hats.
So, these are great, great shots. You guys want to do a picture?
Thank you.
Okay, the other one is, who's here for Betty Denise? How are you, sir? Good, how are you? I'm well, it's good to see you. So, is this the first time you've seen this? Yeah, it's one, it's gonna be a great feeling. Great memories. Oh, you're welcome. It's an honor for us to see you. Especially, this is our last night, our last council, so this is a special night. We're glad to be able to do this. Because John's been pushing this for a while throughout, and we wanted to make sure we got it done. So we want to get you all on, all right?
That's his sister.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You're very
And
welcome.
Where's this one go?
Those hats up there
All right.
are grandmother's original hats.
And there's another picture which will stay here. Shows our motorcycle police officers along with the women police officers, all right? With their names all listed here, so this will stay at City Hall. All right? Thank you all for coming. Yes? Sure, absolutely.
Come on.
We all come up.
Yeah, come on up here. I'd like to get in the pictures. Come on, squoosh over. You have room for everybody. There you go.
No, it's fine. Don't block Andy, you get in trouble. You can just put on the paper. Thanks, Greg.
Thank you all. Thank you, sir. Thank
Oh,
you,
you're
ma'am.
very welcome.
Thank you. My mom is wearing my grandmother's badge.
It's amazing, huh?
Wow. One, 101, huh?
101.
Yeah.
And Betty was
And you
107.
should be, and you should be. That's nice.
Uh-huh.
Grandmother and my grandmother were sisters.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
They're both in the family. They're
Yeah.
both mulattoes.
All Italians, huh?
Awful lot of
Mulattoes, yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
South,
happy to
you live
do
at the
it.
South?
Yeah, they had the farm on Taylor Avenue, which is down Route 80.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's where 80 came through.
Wow.
Alrighty. All right, so you want to take a quick intermission so they can clear out? So we're going to take a, for those who don't want to stay for the council of the whole meeting, feel free to stay, but you're also welcome to leave. It's no problem. We're just going to take a 2 or 3 minute break.
Official break?
That's the break. Yeah. Turn it back over to our city manager.
Next up is a commemorative street naming regarding James J.T. Taylor Way, which will be posted on part of Clay Street.
Oh, you can't do that.
My mic won't turn on.
See, Jerry's a reach.
Oh, there it goes. It just went on. Sorry about that. Next up is a discussion. It's regarding a commemorative street naming of a portion of Clay Street, which will be named James J.T. Taylor Way from Kool and the Gang, who grew up in Hackensack on Clay Street, and that's scheduled to be. But I don't know if you're going to read that resolution or not, Mayor, or it's up to you.
Yeah, well, we're going to vote on it tonight.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah. We'll speak to it.
All right. Lastly is presentation regarding project management from Ryan Westar, our project manager, concerning the combined sewer and construction project update.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
That's just the list of ongoing things. I'll go into more detail with the slides. Firehouse Engine 2, the repairs to the apparatus floor. We had a pre-construction meeting. We're just waiting on the contracts from the contractor to be signed and then have the city sign. In addition to Engine 2, at Firehouse headquarters, we got 90% plans for the oil water separator that'll be installed in the near future. That is in addition to all the remediation work we're doing at the headquarters. And that includes the oil water separator, an oil recovery unit, and then a new floor. East County Pump Station, the pump replacement, we have a proposal from Rapid Pump, which was utilizing the Passaic Valley Sewerage Commission Co-op. That'll be on at the next meeting for approval, so we'll get working on ordering the new pumps. There's quite a long lead time on that, but we're making progress. Johnson Park Sports Complex, the site contractor has been out doing some conduit for relocating electrical line. They're going to be doing the relocating of the sewer main and then regrading the RCA that's on site, so that work is ongoing. Fashini Park, fields 8, 9, and 10. The notice to proceed will be going out. It's going to be dated July 7th after the July 4th festivities at Fashini Park. And that week, the contractor will mobilize, and that work will continue until March of next year. We'll be ready to go for the spring. Roads and traffic, Lot A, the work is nearing complete out there. All the concrete work has been completed. Paving and striping has been completed on the area, I'll say north of Seatown. And then the remainder, which would be south of Seatown and the entrance off of Atlantic Street into the garage, will be milled and paved tomorrow and then Thursday. So that project will be wrapping up in the next couple weeks. The paving program, I received the plans from Neglia this afternoon for Kennedy Street and the CDBG roads for review. For Kennedy Street, those plans have to go back to DOT for approval, and by the end of the week, we should have the plans for the city-funded roads. And those roads will be complete this summer. For the DOT fiscal year state aid programs, we've decided to submit for local transportation project fund. The county recently did a evaluation of all culvert crossings over the Colesbrook, and 3 of them need attention. Hamilton Place, West Anderson, and then Lookout Ave. So we submitted for the state aid for 2026, the replacement of those bridges. The approximate cost, the Hamilton is the picture in the center. As you can see, it's seen better days. That one is about 1.1 million. Lookout is about 65,000, and West Anderson is around 100K. And those are non-matching for that. In addition, last fiscal year 24, for the LTPF, Hackensack submitted a plan for a pedestrian safety plan, and we did receive approximately $641,000 for that plan, and that's going to include safety improvements on Fairmount Avenue to include speed humps, curb bump outs, improved crosswalks and signage, and mill and pave. And then again, just our usual public service announcement about any street light outages. Feel free to call the city if you see any, but you could also report it at the link on the screen. And any PSC&G gas work, there's a link there to check if your road is being torn up anytime soon. And again, maintain our healthy sewers. And that's all I have. Any questions?
All right, thank you, Ryan. Any
Thanks,
questions?
Ryan, real quick,
Yeah.
I know Annette and Mr. Smith are here regarding the PSC&G, the lighting survey for Prospect Avenue.
Yes. I reached out. I haven't heard back from PSC&G, but we signed, the service agreement, so it's just a matter of them installing the improvements.
Okay,
So,
all right.
a couple weeks.
Just know that you know that.
If I hear anything, I'll let you know.
All right.
Thanks,
All right.
Ryan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So before we go to public, I'm just going to read the letter from Derek Doc Taylor from Hackensack High School class of 1979 about J.T. Taylor. Sorry. So this is the letter we received from J.T. Taylor's high school friend, Derek Doc Taylor. And it's on behalf of the family members of Mr. James J.T. Taylor, the voice of Kool and the Gang. I respectfully submit this letter to request the renaming of Clay Street to be James J.T. Taylor Way. And our father's passing, J.T. came to Hackensack at the age of 9 with our mother and 10 siblings. Oh, that was his brother. I didn't even realize it. He joined the church choir, and his talents were immediately praised in the neighborhood. At 13, he formed his own band and made his first appearance at the Apollo Theater. As a track star in high school, he took advantage of a scholarship at Norfolk State University to further his education, but his passion drew him back to music. JT began performing with several bands, ultimately was asked to join Kool and the Gang, a premier jazz band at the time. JT's voice and unique sound made an immediate impact on the group with 2 number-1 hits, Ladies' Night and Too Hot, on their first record release with JT in 1979. This initial success led to a series of top 10 and number-1 hits as well as gold and platinum albums. By 1988, Taylor left Kool and the Gang to pursue a solo career, releasing 4 solo albums. He was reunited on occasion with Kool and the Gang for several concerts over the years and a tour in the late 90s and early 2000s. JT, along with Kool and the Gang, was inducted into the New Jersey Hall of Fame in the Performing Arts category in 2015. His skillful songwriting has gained JT entrance into the prestigious Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2018. And in 2024, JT once again reunited with Kool and the Gang for their induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. JT grew up on Clay Street, found his footing as a young boy with big dreams. In recognition of his success, we respectfully ask the city of Hackensack to rename the street James J.T. Taylor Way. What a celebration it will be. So it's great to, see a hometown kid made good. I mean, here he is. He's in the Songwriter Hall of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's that's every performer's dream is to reach that goal. And tried a couple times to get him to play in the Hack Pack, but we just couldn't get it done. But that would have been a great celebration. That would have been sold out. But moving forward, we're going to pass that resolution tonight and look forward to the day when that happens. So I just wanted to get that on the record, what that was about. So with that, I need a motion to open to the public, please.
Offered.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. So anyone from the public, please come forward. You'll get 3 minutes. Anybody? Here's Mr. Smith.
Good evening, Marty Smith, Prospect Avenue. One question I have is pertaining to the request we made for crosswalks to be installed on Anderson Street at Union because it's a dangerous intersection. Has the city decided whether or not to move forward on that or not?
Yeah, with that, we do have the federal TAP grant that's going to cover that area on Anderson Street from, I think, from that location up to the railroad tracks. So we'll make intersection improvements when we do that.
Okay, thank you for that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Since this is probably the last night I'll be able to address you in your official capacities, I just have a couple of comments to make. I think that the city, under your stewardship for the last 8 years, has done some really terrific things. I think that the city of Hackensack has become a very vibrant city under your leadership. The program of the buildings going up around the city have worked out very well. All of the city buildings are blending in very well, regardless of where they're located, whether it's on Johnson Avenue, Anderson Street, Main Street, Fashini Park. All of these buildings have added a modern look to the city, and not to mention the funds that they are bringing in currently. I think that Main Street has become a very attractive area to do business in. I think all the businesses are doing well. I think towns around Bergen County I have been in have many stores that are vacant, and I don't think we have one on Main Street that is vacant. Anderson Street also is looking much better with the new building that was just put up. The improvements that you've made in our parks, in our athletic fields, also have added to the city's growth and to its betterment. So also the street system we have improved upon with repaving, new traffic safety devices have also helped our citizens here in Hackensack. So with that, I want to thank you for all the work you've done and wish you the best of luck in the years ahead and in your, what I might call retirement. So thank you very much for everything you've done.
I'll take that.
Thank you,
Mr.
Marty.
Smith.
Thank you.
Next, please.
Paul Nichols, Hackensack. This will probably be my record quickest time ever speaking, because I just want to say thank you all for your service, and John, thanks a lot, and everything that's going on. I don't know about that, but we don't agree a lot on a lot of things. We don't agree on a lot of things, but yeah, you've always treated me really good, nice, and I've always respected all you guys. So thank you very much for your service.
Appreciate it.
That's it. Thanks.
Thank you, Paul. Marlene, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
Hi, City Council members. Good evening. Marlene Somerville, Berry Street resident. So I just want to take a moment personally to say, not because I ran with you guys on your campaign, right? Aside, I'm probably the only person who ran in a campaign that doesn't necessarily have a social media account. So I'm just going to say, none of that nonsense is not the reason why I'm here. Would like to honestly say, on behalf of all of you guys on the City Council, not just the members that are sitting there, but the lawyer, you know, Vincent, and both for Deborah and Allison. In the last 12 years, you guys have done a phenomenal job of making sure that Hackensack, right, was revitalized to a thriving community. And no matter what people will say, everybody has their own opinion. They are all entitled to it, right? And I make no judgment on it. We can pretend, right, that nothing was accomplished under the LaBrose administration. That is so not true. Like the gentleman just said, Main Street is absolutely vibrant. I actually took my husband on Father's Day to the Whiskey Priest just to check it out because it opened. I mean, it is absolutely phenomenal. The buildings fit in with the environment. They are, you know, not overly crowded. There is no such thing as too much of anything. anybody knows that in order for you to be a thriving economy, right, you kind of sort of need congestion, because congestion means people are coming in, people are there, and those people are actually paying revenue into the city. And that is what a thriving city is, right? That's why New York is one of the most expensive places for you to be, congestion. So beyond that, the parks, right? I live by Carver Park. Carver Park, the job that you have done there with the courts, right, redoing the courts, putting in the splash park for the kids, the revitalization of Stuyve Park, where we go as a family to, to walk, go in the conservatory that's on the back. And again, the streets, the road. John, you still promised me before you leave, and I hope you get it done tonight, that Berry Street finish the paving. I'm waiting, right?
I hope it's on the list.
But all of those accomplishments, right? So again, people can say what they want to say. People can pretend that, something is wrong and things are not thriving and things are not better. Again, you're entitled to your opinion. I make no judgment. But we can all see, we all have eyes, and we fully understand, right, what reality is. And the reality is that you guys should be commended, you guys should be praised, and no matter what anybody says when you leave here, that is something that no one can take away from you guys. You guys will go down in the books for what you guys have done for Hackensack. So again, from those citizens that, again, live in reality base on Earth 1 and not on Earth 2, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Marlene. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Folks, I'm a long-time Hackensack resident, and I remember what it was, and I remember what you guys made it. You made it a destination location. I can't believe my eyes some days when I just look around. I take a ride through the city. I live up on Prospect Avenue at the Sherbrooke. But echoing what these folks before me said, thank you very much for a job well done.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Appreciate
sir.
that.
Good evening. My
Michael.
name's Mike Allegretta. I'd like to thank the mayor and council for the last 12 years, what you guys have put together. A lot of towns throughout this country try to redevelop, to try to bring in businesses, and with a lot of failure. Putting a program together as you guys did, you've had a vision, and it happened. I mean, you drive Hackensack and you look at these new buildings, and I agree, they blend in, they look good. There's not just the residential, but the commercial on the ground floors. Just tonight, me and my wife went to Pliables. Who would have figured that a Pliable, a big company, would come into the city of Hackensack and a lot of other towns, a lot of other businesses. To see that you're building developers spending hundreds of millions of dollars, a lot smarter than the average. Oh, I shouldn't say that, but to spend this kind of money in Hackensack and not stopping, that means something. Okay, you've started a train is going, and you almost don't want to stop. And I hope that the new regime doesn't stop it. There will be a time where maybe there's enough development and these multi-millionaires who are spending money in Hackensack, they'll put the brakes on it. I am so comfortable when I drive Main Street and see the new businesses, restaurants, and even different type of people that are moving around the city. It's a wonderful thing. I love the city. We try to spend our dinners and do as much in the city as we can. The parks that are getting developed, the infrastructure, which was critical to this mayor and council over the years, it's gotten better. Where Hackensack is, you're not going to fix all the problems. It's virtually impossible, but you've made it better. As I said, Main Street, just a good-looking place, and what you've put in place. It's I believe Hackensack is a better place because of what this mayor and council has done over these last 12 years. You're not going to make everyone happy. as you know. But you guys did a great job, and we're fortunate to have you. So, the Allegrettas, we thank you very much for your time. And like the person said, now you can relax.
Yeah.
You guys did a lot, you know, and look back, you guys left a legacy in Hackensack, because there are many cities throughout the country that put a pilot together and they fail. You guys did not fail. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Anyone else from the public? Hey, hey.
Hello. So my name is Sharon Mossington Leewars, and I'm a proud Jamaican. I'm coming from the Caribbean American thing that they had by One Bergen County Plaza. But I also want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you guys for opening your arms and embracing the Jamaica organization of New Jersey Bergen County chapter. We are, every time I pass by the park, I beam with joy for my One Love Way. So I thank you so very much.
That was a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, Council, Ed Cabral, Kaplan.
Edward?
Just to, I mean, look, I'm going to echo everything everybody said. You guys have done a phenomenal job. Just want to say thank you for making Kaplan a much safer street.
How's it working out?
It's working out perfectly fine. That left
Good.
turn was installed too, by the way. So, Vinny, thank you. It's a shame that, you know, you guys started this, and hopefully, you know, we could have continued further and make all of Hackensack safe. But one thing I will say, I'll walk out of here today, and because of you guys, I can say I'm a Hackensack resident, and people will respect that.
Yep.
So, you know, good luck in the next journey, all of you guys. Stay safe,
Thank you, sir.
and thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Ed.
Ed, Mr. Cabral, the striping is
Yes.
being worked on, so
Well,
that's,
somebody said that the other day.
Yeah.
I can't see the speed bumps, so
yeah.
that's what I was going to say.
That's
But
gonna
I didn't want
happen.
you
Ryan's
guys-
working on that. We're working
Don't
on
steal
it.
my thunder. I was going to tell you that.
All right, anyone else in the public before we close? Okay, motion to close.
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed. So with that, we're going to come back at 8 o'clock and start the next meeting and take care of all the city business, and then we'll have another public session after that. So see everybody about 20, 25 minutes. Thank you.
you need a motion to close the executive and the cap?
Okay, need a motion?
Before you do the executive, Steve, do you have anything?
Yes, well, I'm fixing my tie here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't look
You know, I
behind
figured the last meeting, you know, I should put on a tie, maybe? Even when it's 100 degrees
You
out?
want me to put that in the minutes that you wore a tie?
Yeah, I would appreciate that. Let the record so reflect. As usual, we did have a closed executive session. I believe the only case we talked about in any detail was the ongoing case involving Mr. Victor Vasquez versus the city of Hackensack. So that's all
That's
I
it.
have.
Okay,
Okay, now you need a motion.
need a motion?
Offer.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Now you need a motion to close the Carroll.
Motion to close the cow.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia is absent. Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Okay. Would everybody please rise for the flag salute? Oh, what do you got?
We need
Oh, you have to read your thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know you want this meeting to be done fast. Give me a minute. This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act, NJSA 10:4-6 et sec, notice of which was sent to the record in the Star Ledger and was posted on the municipal bulletin board. Now you need to do roll call.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Here.
Councilmember Pataglia is absent. Councilmember Carroll.
Here.
Mayor LaBrus.
Here. Now would everybody please rise for the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. So, we have a few proclamations and presentations to make tonight. It's ready?
It's in the box, yes.
So, Mr. Tony Marsekia, would you please come forward? How are you, sir? So I have a little plaque here for you with a proclamation on it. So who in this room knows Anthony Marsekia? Raise your hand. Pretty good, huh? Pretty good. We got to follow it. This is a good thing. So whereas Anthony Tony Marsekia has dedicated 50 years of service to the city of Hackensack, beginning as acting superintendent of schools in 1975, significantly contributing to the education of students in the city and the well-being of the community. And throughout his tenure, Mr. Marsiglia has served in a variety of roles, including acting superintendent, library trustee, Rotarian, demonstrating exceptional leadership, commitment, and a deep passion for public service. And whereas Mr. Marsiglia has made countless contributions to the city, advancing the interest of the public, fostering collaborations, and working tirelessly to improve the lives of all residents, and whereas Mr. Marsiglia has been a champion for education, the arts, and the Johnson Public Library, showing unwavering dedication to ensuring that the needs and concerns of the community were heard and addressed. And whereas Mr. Marsiglia's leadership, wisdom, and vision have had a lasting impact on the city of Hackensack and Johnson Public Library, leaving an enduring legacy of service that will continue to benefit future generations. And whereas the community, students, and city officials alike have deeply valued Mr. Marsiglia's expertise, insight, and exemplary conduct, making them a model of public service and civic responsibility. Now, therefore, I, John P. LaBrosse Jr., Mayor of the City of Hackensack, along with members of the City Council, do hereby recognize and honor Anthony Marsiglia for his 50 years of dedicated service and expresses deep gratitude for his unwavering commitment and leadership over the decades. Congratulations, sir. This is our pledge of
I'm truly, truly honored. Hackensack, I was thinking this morning, I came here as a 20-year-old 71 years ago, and little did I know at the time that Hackensack would be more than just a place to live. It became my home in many ways, in a special way. It became my vocation, my avocation, and where I made a whole bunch of lifelong friends. So it's, I've gotten so much more from Hackensack than I've given. But it's been a pleasure. And I want to just give a shout out to our great library. I just call our Johnson Public Library the crown jewel of Hackensack. And it's the one place where everybody is welcome. My soon-to-be daughter-in-law, my granddaughter-in-law, sent me an article recently that pointed out that libraries are bastions of democracy, where everybody is welcome. And no greater thing can be said about our library. So I'm very proud to have been a part of that, and under the leadership of our current board president, Chrissy Izzo, and our great library director, Tara Cooper, it's going to continue to flourish. So thank you so much. It's been wonderful.
You're welcome. So at this time, I see some library, I see our director, I see the head of the board. Would you guys like to come up and say a few words for Tony? How are you, dear?
Hello, everyone. My name is Christy Izzo. I'm the president of the library board. This is our director, Tara Cooper, and Cindy Ortiz, another one of our trustees. Tony, congratulations. Thank you for everything you've done for the city and the library. We recently dedicated the art gallery at the library in Tony's honor. It's now the Tony Marseglia Art Gallery, and we have a new artist every single month. And when Tony left the board at the end of last year, we couldn't let him go. So we talked him into being the head, to helping us start the Johnson Public Library Foundation. And that will continue Tony's legacy and allow us to have a building that is fitting of our community and the services that our great staff provides. So thank you, Tony.
Everything that Christy said. And Tony, I want to thank you so much for the opportunity to work in such an amazing place. I tell people all the time the best date I've ever been on my life was a coffee date with Tony at the Coach House Diner when he asked me if I wanted to work at the library. The staff adore you, the public, you've done so much for the community, our students, all your work through the Rotary. We didn't even mention that. The Rotary does so much good in Hackensack, and you've been such a leader in that organization as well, and everything that you've done for the library, and we just can't thank you enough. And I'm excited to continue to work with you through the foundation, and we just can't, there's nothing else I could say. I feel like I'm going to cry. So thank you. Thank you for everything, and thank you to the mayor and council for recognizing him in this way. I think it's really fitting and awesome. And we just can't wait to see what else you come up with, Tony, because you're, I think, like 29, 30 years, we have some time with you still, so thank you. No, thank you so much. Thank you, Mayor LeBron.
Anyone else out there who'd like to say a few words about Tony? I know there's some family and friends here. If not, we're going to move on with business. Okay. So again, Tony, 50 years, that's an amazing, amazing time. A lot of, like you said, the Hackensack is given back to you, but what you've given to the community is invaluable. It's unbelievable. So we appreciate what you've done for the city, especially the library and all your other services that you have done. Guy makes the best broccoli rabe with garlic I've ever had. Just so you know, that's a little extra added point. We get to have it. Mr. Marcassani is here tonight. A couple of weeks before Christmas on a Friday, we always have pizza at his house. Tony's is always there, and Tony always brings the broccoli rabe, so it's a special night. So thank you all for coming tonight to honor Tony. I think it's a great thing, and glad to have you here. Thanks again.
Mayor, may I have the microphone? We have one more proclamation here tonight. You don't think that I could in any way be quiet on this last night of our office together. John is not only my mayor, my neighbor, my friend, my partner in executing the vision we both had for the city of Hackensack over the last 12 years. And I feel proud and honored to be considered your partner along with the rest of the council here tonight. And we should all be extremely proud of the legacy that this council leaves behind. So now with your proclamation. Whereas John P. LaBrosse Jr. was first elected in 2009 as a councilman. In 2013 and again in 2017, John was voted by City Council as mayor. And in 2021, Deb. Oh, you left one off. John is a dedicated public servant and longtime resident whose passion is the driving force behind the transformation of our city. And whereas Mayor LaBrosse had a vision to bring life back into downtown Hackensack, and this started with the Quality of Life Initiative, as well as changing Main Street into a two-way street again, and the development of many new residential buildings. And whereas John's love of coaching kids had always brought him enjoyment in his life, and learning to never write off a child and treat everyone fairly is something he continued as mayor to the children of Hackensack, including a new recreation center and improvements to the many city parks. Whereas in addition to his public service, John works as a safety specialist at Hackensack University Medical Center. Whereas beyond his professional endeavors, John takes immense pride in his family. He is married to Debbie Nicentero, is the proud father of Justin and his wife Christy, and Christopher and his wife Tara. John is also the proud grandfather of 2 granddaughters and 4 grandsons. So now, therefore, I, Kathleen Canestrino, Deputy Mayor of the City of Hackensack, maybe the last time I say that, right? Along with the members of the City Council, do hereby thank John P. LaBrosse Jr. for all his years of dedicated service to the City of Hackensack. Thank you, John.
Thank you,
You have to say something now. Thank you.
Thank you. So that was unexpected. I had no idea that was coming. Thank you, Kathleen. That was awesome. The vision was not just mine. Kathy and I can remember exactly when it really started. And it was actually in, what do you call it? What's his name's restaurant? Casual Habana. Denny's. You'd think I would know. I eat there enough. So we're eating, and Emil, God bless his soul, was with us at the time. And I was a council person. Kathleen had missed out by a little bit on getting elected to the council. It was very close.
37 votes.
37 votes. And I was pushing Main Street because I remembered how Main Street was. And it might have been Emil or Kathy, I can't remember who, would said, it'll never be able to change Main Street. And I kind of got a little PO'd and actually kind of hit the table and said that it could be done and we're going to do it. And we moved forward and went full steam ahead and we did it. So it's a great thing and appreciate that. And I'm really honored for the plaque and resolution. Thank you so much. And Tony, we got plaques. You got room on your wall? So anyway, thank you so much for that. Council, always been a pleasure working with all you guys, and through the years, it's been an unbelievable ride. So with that, let's take care of some business, and then we'll have some public comment, and we'll move forward, all right? So, took care of that. So I need a motion for the approval of the minutes for the Cal Executive and Regular Meeting of May 20th, 2025, and the Cal Executive and Regular Meeting of June 3rd, 2025. Was everybody here, Clerk?
I think so. Everybody had them, so everybody's read them.
Okay. Yeah, they've all been read. so.
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed? And with that, we'll go to the city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. The city is working with PSE&G to improve the lighting on Prospect Avenue. New lights have been ordered and should be installed in the near future after they did a survey regarding the lights on Prospect. Hackensack will be hosting a townwide shred event Saturday, June 28th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. in Johnson Park. The splash pads will be open 7 days a week now from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. That will begin on June 30th, about a week away. The city will be celebrating July 4th beginning at 4 p.m. at Fashini Park with food trucks, family games and activities, a performance by Filet of Soul, followed by Gucci fireworks. The annual 4th of July Police versus Fire Department softball game will take place at 10 a.m. Please join us for a fun-filled day. The Hackensack Police Department Unified Neighborhood Intervention Team will be hosting a community meeting tomorrow at 6 p.m. in the Civic Center. This is your opportunity to share concerns, ask questions, and engage directly with our officers and leadership. New Jersey is requiring lead-safe inspections for rental units. Landlords with pre-1978 rental properties located in the city are required to have inspections completed by July 22nd. Landlords can use any company of their choosing as long as compliance is obtained. Please reach out to our building department should you have any questions. That's it, Mayor.
Thank you. So moving on with new business.
The budget.
Oh, yes. Jim, you're up.
Okay, at this time, is this on? Is that on? Okay, yeah, okay, there we go. Okay, at this time, this calls for the public hearing on the 2025 budget. The budget was introduced at the May 20th meeting. At the last meeting, I did the presentation of the budget, and just quickly, I'm just going to describe it. Budget this year is $132,391,326.94, and includes which, by the way, is a spending increase of $1.4 million over last year. The tax levy, the municipal tax levy, is $92,101,601, which is an increase to the tax levy of $700,000 or 0.74%. The budget's been posted on the city website. Copies have been available in the clerk's office. And at this point now, any members of the public have any questions, they can come up and ask.
Okay, so going to open up to the public. Anybody who'd like to speak to the budget?
Need a motion.
Need a motion to open to the
Offer.
public?
Second.
Sorry. Anybody from the public who would like to come forward, speak to the budget? And I'm seeing no one, so I need a motion to close.
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Okay, so that part's over. Moving on. Deb?
Resolution 298-25 is a resolution for final adoption of ordinance number 32-2025, an ordinance authorizing financial agreement with Essex One Urban Renewal Company LLC, an urban renewal entity authorized pursuant to the long-term tax exception law NJSA 40A:20-1 et sec, for the development of a mixed-use apartment project upon block 66, lots 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 38, 41, 43, 45, and 48. This ordinance has been published according to law and now calls for a public hearing.
Okay, need a motion to open to the public.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia is absent. Councilmember Carroll. Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Anyone from the public who'd like to speak to this ordinance, please come forward. Seeing no members of the public, motion to close.
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Need a motion to adopt the ordinance, please.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia is absent. Councilmember Carroll.
No.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack, County of Bergen, and State of New Jersey, that ordinance number 32-2025 has passed its second and final reading and is hereby adopted.
Thank you. Resolution 299-25.
This is a resolution for final adoption of ordinance number 33-2025, an ordinance authorizing financial agreement with the Sapphire Urban Renewal LLC, an urban renewal entity authorized pursuant to the long-term exemption law NJSA 48:20-1 for the development of a mixed-use apartment project upon block 11214, lots 1, 2, and 3, formerly known as block 302, lots 1, 2, and 27, which is 132, 148 Main Street. This ordinance has been published according to law and now calls for a public hearing.
Need a motion to open to the public, please?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, none opposed. Anyone from the public who'd like to speak to this ordinance and this ordinance only, please come forward. Seeing no members from the public, motion to close.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia is absent. Councilmember Carroll.
No.
Well, this is to close to the public.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Councilman, Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Now
Okay,
you
motion
need a
to adopt.
Yes.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia is absent. Councilmember Carroll.
No.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Be resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, that ordinance number 33-2025 has passed its second and final reading and is hereby adopted.
Thank you. So, resolution 300-25. Okay,
This is a resolution for final adoption of ordinance number 36-2025, an ordinance to establish a new chapter 33 of the Code of the City of Hackensack, project labor agreements for certain public construction contracts within the City of Hackensack. This ordinance has been published according to law and now calls for a public hearing.
okay. So need a motion to open to the public.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia is absent. Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. So anybody from the public who'd like to speak to this, I see we have some union members here. I actually have some questions, so if you have a leader from your group who would like to come forward, appreciate it. We just have a couple questions here. How are you, sir?
Good evening. My name is Mike. I'm from the Bricklayers Union.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the business agent for Bergen County.
Thank you for coming up, Mike. Appreciate it. So our CFO had raised some concerns, which raised some concerns with us on the effect of the program on some possible funding. So I know, Deputy Mayor, you have a question. I have a question. So you
Well, I
go
think
first.
for the public, if you could explain some of the real benefits as we've seen, but I think the
Yeah.
public would like to hear some of this as well during the public hearing of us doing this.
Absolutely.
Especially about the apprenticeships, because that's something we've been working and hoping for a very long time in town.
Absolutely.
And the use of our Hackensack residents to do some of this.
I think there's a lot of misconception for people who aren't in the trades regarding this topic. I know it's touchy. I just want to make it clear it's for public work. So this is, tax dollars. This is not private work. Basically, the biggest thing that a project labor agreement does is it employs people in this area, and in return, it has a really good economic return, because the people that are going to be working on these projects are the people that live here, and they're going to be spending that money on these stores, at this supermarket, at this restaurant. And to touch upon the apprenticeship too, the trades is kind of slowly losing its footing, because a lot of the boomers sent their kids to college, and it's kind of been an undesired path to go. So there's a lot of opportunity for young individuals who don't necessarily go to school. Again, project labor agreements are aimed to get people from this area. I can't tell you how many jobs I go by and I see trucks from Indiana, Kentucky, and these are people who don't have Hackensack's best interest in mind. They're here just for a paycheck, and then they're out of here. A lot of times too, prevailing project labor agreements, they kind of keep the contractor responsible. Just because it's prevailing rate doesn't necessarily mean that these contractors pay the right wage, and we dictate that wage. So in terms of money, like public work is it's a set rate dictated by us, so it's not going to change like the budget whether or not it's prevailing rate or a project labor agreement. That same budget, I mean that same rate has to be paid, and I see a lot of these contractors who are taking advantage of people that are immigrants, and ultimately just drives down our wage. So really, again, the main thing is just to get people who live in these areas to help contribute to building a lot of these buildings, and spend the money they make in this area.
Okay.
You had any
Yeah, I'd like to, hey, Steve, would it be out of line to call the CFO up, just so we could address some of his questions?
You can give me some public. This is a public hearing,
Yep,
right?
I just
So
wanted to make
you
sure
control
because
what-
he is
you-
the
you have-
CFO.
Members of the public have the right to speak if they wish, but, it's a hearing, so if you have information that you need to understand in a public forum, you can certainly call up anybody you wish.
All right, so I don't, and you may not even be able to answer him, but Jim, if
Try
you
my best.
just bring up some of the concerns you had. So, I know one of your concerns was, we're concerned about funding on certain projects, especially the I-Bank for the sewer work and stuff of that nature, so,
Yeah, one of the concerns I had was that a lot of our contracts that are $5 million plus are the sewer separation contracts that don't necessarily have the trades, plumbers, carpenters, that kind of thing, So is there such a thing as an apprenticeship program for a project like a sewer separation?
Again, I mean, each trade is different. Like you said, it's not something like that kind of work really won't benefit a carpenter or a bricklayer.
Yeah, and my question was that in the ordinance, there is no mechanism for making any kind of an exception.
So I'm not really understanding.
Like, for example, it has to have an apprenticeship, So when we put bid spec out, if a company, if there is no apprenticeship program out there, then my fear is that companies aren't going to bid because they can't comply.
I understand. Yeah. So a lot of that work is done by what's called the heavy highway laborers. In this area, it would be Local 472. So they do have a certified apprenticeship program for that scope of work. Again, I don't want to say 100%, but more than likely, those are the guys you always see working on the bridges, the guys who are doing water main breaks. Usually it's Fletcher Creamer, Sanzari, so all good union companies that employ heavy highway laborers.
Okay, and what happens if they can't staff themselves with 100% Hackensack residents? What happens then?
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's never gonna be 100% just because, again, just the numbers aren't there for any town. The original goal is to get Hackensack residents, and then I would say after that goal has been fulfilled, if you can't get obviously 100%, which is unlikely, you would stay within Bergen County, which is very more likely.
See, and that was my concern, is that there are goals in the ordinance, very, very noble, worthy goals, but the ordinance is so stringent, it's so black and white, that my fear is that if you're a losing bidder, right, that what's going to happen is, and the enforcement mechanism produces a lot of documentation, and a lot of publicly available documentation, as per the ordinance, must be available within 3 days. That, and all of the enforcement is on the city.
The apprentice.
So if we're not 100% enforcing the ordinance, and we can't because the numbers aren't there, then that opens us up to a liability, and that's my fear.
I mean, it's
You see, what I'd asked for was that the ordinance go back and shore up some of these deficiencies.
See, I just would go back to your last remark as far as you're concerned to employ 100% Hackensack residents. I mean, that's the goal of project labor agreement. So I mean, even if you were to employ, let's just say, an arbitrary number of 25%, it's still better than getting a contractor from outside the area.
Oh, yeah.
So you're winning either way.
But if the ordinance said strive for 100%, and it doesn't, it says 100%.
Let me
That's
just clarify that that's not correct. The apprenticeship program is 100% of that, and 20% of the labor hours required are supposed to be performed by Hackensack residents who are participating in the apprenticeship program. I guess the question that maybe, and again, I'm
No,
not trying to
Steve,
direct it
Steve,
directly.
read the whole clause, because you're reading parts of it, and you're reading it backwards.
Require that 20% of the labor hours required shall be performed by City of Hackensack residents who are participating in the apprenticeship program, and that 100% of the apprentices shall be City of Hackensack residents.
Okay,
So that's not 100%, that's 20%.
of the hours have to be done by apprentices, and 100% of the apprentices have to be Hackensack residents.
That's correct, but that's not 100% of the workforce. I guess
No, I didn't say it was
the
100%
I guess
of
the
the
question that
I
needs to
said
be.
100% of the apprentices
Yeah.
have to be.
That's
Just
not.
make sure, right.
Yeah, so I guess the question is, that would be useful for this council would be, how do we obtain those apprentices, right? If we do not have an apprenticeship program, how will the apprenticeship program work to be able to obtain the Hackensack residents to participate in the apprenticeship program? Like, how do the trades go about developing this apprenticeship program? Because this exists
So
in lots of places.
We do a lot of job fairs. I go to a lot of high schools. We try to recruit people from, let's just say use Hackensack. We'd go to career fairs where we have like a mobile trailer and we try to entice them to come. We're always trying to get younger guys involved in the trades. So again, yes, you don't know how many people live in this town, each trade, but you're always out there trying to like get younger kids that are involved, through high school, try to get them to join the union. So you're always aiming to employ people from this town, but again, can it always be 100%? No, and that's when you want to stay within the Bergen County sector.
Gotcha. Yeah, and that's my problem with the language of the ordinance.
Yeah, now, in 33.6, though, it does say that, and it talks about apprenticeship utilization goals. There is a reference to a contractor not being subject to enforcement actions for violations of this provision if the contractor can demonstrate it made good faith efforts to comply with the section. So that may be what you're talking about in terms of being able to, if there's a good faith and you can't do it. I mean, you might be familiar with this provision more than I am. I'm not certainly an expert on this, but it may be something.
Yeah, the contractors usually will send us a form we sign basically stating that we are going to do everything in our power to employ not only 100% Hackensack residents, but we aim to employ females, a lot of the Latino community. So we do try to do that.
And should they be willing to work with you, do you also work with the schools, like the Hackensack High School, like to participate with them in perhaps providing guidance there, if the high school was interested?
We're going to a lot of the schools now, and they've kind of phased out, let's just say wood shop. So we're trying to incorporate apprenticeship programs in the high school and get them at that age between 14 and 18 years old. Again, for the kids that maybe don't want to go to college, it kind of opens up their eyes because it's ingrained into your head from a young age that it's not really a desirable thing to do. So it's a working effort. We're really trying to break that misconception, and it's not going to happen overnight. But I could just tell you a lot of the private work going on in Hackensack right now. I mean, right down the street over here. I'm not going to say names, but there's a contractor I've been following for a long time. He's notorious for, paying bad wages. We have certain rules, water on the job, to work like a gentleman, a gentlewoman. There's no reason that someone should feel like they're indebted to somebody, and that's what's happening a lot in the private sector and even the prevailing rate sector, the public works sector. So I don't see to me it's kind of like a no-brainer. If we want to do a project like a Bergen agreement, and it aims to make the community better. So
Well, like I said, Mayor, my issue is just that I think the language opens us up to enforcement issues, which opens us up to liability.
So and I understand that, Jim, but I see we do have two members of the newly elected council here. So obviously, this is like an in-between thing. I think you see a little bit of predicament we're in here, but this is a good, in our opinion, a very good opportunity for Hackensack, young Hackensack residents to get in this apprentice program. So if we pass this, we're going to be passing it on to you, and you can tune this up however you need to. You can amend it, do what you need to do with it, I would say with the recommendations of our CFO, to make sure that there's no dangers in any of the financial worries he had with this, with the I-Bank for sewers and sewer separation and things of that sort. So we're good with that?
I mean,
All right.
also, to the new members too. Just, 1 second, then we'll let you, it's a public.
Welcome to
you know,
anyone's welcome to speak. This
it's
is
just
not
we-
your public session.
Something we've been working towards for a while, and it would be a shame to pass this up as an initiative that easily you could change, as you choose. But to not have it, it's something that we really, as you can tell from us, went back and forth with, should we just leave it and wait for you folks to try and pick it back up? But it's something that took time, so we hate to miss this opportunity, I think, especially for our young folks, and it's something we wanted to try and get something like this in town for a while, and now we have partners that are looking to do that, and I think it's important.
No, and Agatha is here as well, as you referenced. We are folks that certainly want to collaborate with the schools, as we have said. I know that this council has had a relationship with the schools as well. One of the things that I'm very proud to report is that Hackensack High School and Hackensack Public Schools are not schools that have been reducing their trades programs. We actually have a very robust trades program. Not just wood shop, we have a robust auto shop at the high school, we have a metal shop, we have a very robust program, and the kids actually compete in a number of things, and I won't go on, but just to say it's something that we're very proud of.
So do you think this would be complementary to that? I guess that's the
I
question.
think if there's a relationship, I certainly think that the schools would be a part of trying to help support this program, especially if the goal is to have 100%, or again, going back to what Jim was saying, is it a goal or is it a mandate to have 100% Hackensack residents?
That's the thing you can tune up with.
Right, and so what I just want to say is, I think in theory, we have no issue with this being something that we inherit. I understand that we'll have to work with Jim and with folks to just perhaps needle with it a little bit. But there is no opposition to the contours of having a program that is going to support Hackensack residents working on some of these projects, and also, as was said here, having our kids have options beyond college, and knowing that they can do admirable, well-paying work and work with dignity. So, thank you.
It's a good thing. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your help. We appreciate it. So, anyone else from the public need to speak?
Hi, good evening. So I can say to the mayor-elect team, right? I serve on the Bergen County African American Advisory Council, and this contract came up as part of our, general conversation about what we can do for, the African Americans and people of color within the community. There was one question, and Cassie, we did reach out to Jimmy Montesano and the principal of the middle school, right, about putting the programs together to move this labor agreement to have them actually come out. I think it's the Commissioner of Labor. I forgot the gentleman's name that was there. He came in for present. The only issue we had was we did not have a list of the trades. So we did not know what the list was from start to finish, what trades were available from these guys, what was available, what the apprenticeship was, whether or not there was going to be any reimbursement for the students that wanted to do part of the, the apprenticeship for those families that could not afford. So there was a whole other list of questions that we had as part of the African American Advisory Council as to what would go into the labor agreement. So if you guys do champion this and kick it up, right, that's part of the issue. Some of the kids at school, you have to pay for these. Are we going to be able to get grant funding? Are you guys going to be able to put something together? Whatever the opportunity is to be able to make sure that these things can move forward to that. But I did have a conversation, right, when I was a board member and also from the council with Jimmy and with the principal of the middle school to see whether or not this is something they could champion and move forward. So you guys can kind of keep that up when you start here, have that conversation with them, see if they can close the loop on figuring out how that process works for this resolution.
Thank you. Okay. Anyone else in the public? Seeing none, motion to close to the public.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia is absent. Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Need a motion to adopt this ordinance.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia is absent. Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Be resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack County of Bergen and State of New Jersey that ordinance number 36-2025 is passed its second and final reading and is hereby adopted.
Thank you. Okay, let's go to 301-25.
Resolution 301-25 is a resolution to amend calendar year 2025 approved budget.
Need a motion?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I think you should do a voice vote on this one.
You need a vote on this one?
I would do a voice vote.
Need a voice
Yeah,
vote?
okay,
You got
sorry.
it. Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia is absent. Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Resolution 302-25.
It's a resolution authorizing a 2025 municipal budget adoption.
Need a motion?
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia is absent. Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Resolution 303-25.
It's a resolution authorizing tax refunds for state board judgments, duplicate payments, and paid in error.
Need a motion, please.
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. 304-25.
It's a resolution awarding change order number 1, which is the final, to JAG Paving Corp. for Polyfly Park Drainage Improvement Project.
Need a motion, please.
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Hearing none opposed. Resolution 305-25.
It's a resolution awarding change order number 1, which is final, to New Prince Concrete Construction Company for the Prospect Avenue Pedestrian Safety Improvement Project.
Need a motion, please.
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hearing none opposed. 306-25.
It's a resolution awarding contracts for the LSRP Engineering Services to Suburban Engineers for Fashini Park Preliminary Perimeter Air Monitoring.
Need a motion?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You want roll call? Go roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia is absent. Councilmember Carroll.
Stay.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Resolution 307-25.
It's a resolution authorizing payments due to professionals from delinquent escrow accounts.
Need a motion?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor? You want roll call again? Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia is absent. Councilmember Carroll.
No.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. 308-25.
It's a resolution authorizing payment of bills.
Need a motion to pay the bills.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia is absent. Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
I abstain. Okay, anybody have any conflicts besides Mr. Carroll? Councilman Carroll has 318-25.
What
We're
was
gonna
it? I'm
pull.
sorry.
318-25 is going to be pulled to vote on separate. Anybody else have a conflict?
No.
That's it? No.
That's it. So, on with the consent agenda.
The following items are considered to be routine in nature and will be enacted in one motion. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certification of availability of funds. Any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda, and consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes, including any exceptions and/or additions. Resolution 309-25 is a resolution authorizing renewal of liquor licenses for the 2025-26 license term. Resolution 310-25 is a resolution commemoratively renaming a portion of Clay Street to James J.T. Taylor Way. Resolution 311-25 is a resolution authorizing the settlement of litigation entitled Cull versus City of Hackensack et al., pending in the Superior Court of New Jersey, docket number BERL 5855-22. Resolution 312-25 is a resolution of the City of Hackensack endorsing a fourth-round housing element and fair share plan. Resolution 313-25 is a resolution approving a fourth round affordable housing trust fund spending plan and requesting program and court approval for the spending plan. Resolution 314-25 is a resolution authorizing approval to submit a grant application and execute a grant contract with the New Jersey DOT Municipal Aid Program fiscal year 2026 for Hamilton Place, West Anderson Street, and Lookout Avenue Culvert Crossings over Colesbrook Improvement Project. Resolution 315-25 is a resolution authorizing ambulance reimbursement. Resolution 316-25 is a resolution authorizing refund of unallocated cash. Resolution 317-25 is a resolution authorizing a recreation refund. Resolution 319-25 is a resolution authorizing adoption of agreement between the City of Hackensack and the Hackensack Uniformed Fire Officers Association, IAFF, Local 3172, AFL-CIO, CLC, for the period January 1, 2023 to December 31, 2027. Resolution 320-25 is a resolution authorizing adoption of agreement between the City of Hackensack and the Hackensack Professional Firefighters, IAFF Local 2081, AFL-CIO, CLC, for the period January 1, 2023 to December 31, 2027. Resolution 321-25 is a resolution authorizing a CDB grant agreement change of scope from COVID-19 Fire Company 5 HVAC air purification to COVID-19 Fire Company 5 and Civic Center air purification replacement. Resolution 322-25 is a resolution authorizing law firms to represent the interests of one or more individual defendants in ongoing litigation. And Resolution 323-25 is a resolution approving agreement with RFEHB Urban Renewal LLC with respect to the maintenance of city infrastructure on the record site.
Okay, thank you.
So we need a motion on that.
Need a motion for the consent agenda as it was just read.
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, none opposed. Now we need to do 318-25.
Resolution 318-25 is a resolution authorizing appointment of special law enforcement officers, Class 2.
Need a motion, please.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia is absent. Councilmember Carroll.
Stay.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Okay. So with that, need a motion to open to the public.
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, none opposed. Anybody from the public who'd like to get up and speak, please come forward, and you will have 3 minutes.
Good evening, Mayor and Council,
Evening.
City Manager, clerks. Doug Garofalo, Anderson Street. This is for City Manager Vincent. Back in February, March, I was here asking for assistance with the four-way stop at Anderson and Prospect, lighted stop signs somewhat on the other side of the hill. Just want to know if there's any progress because it's not getting any better, that intersection.
Yeah, no, I know. We're in the process of, I'm working with traffic on that. We will get it done. It's just, we want to put the flashing signs there, and they've been ordered, and they're on back order. Ally's laughing because we've been going back and forth with this. Evidently, there's a huge demand for those type of signs right now, but we are on it. They've been ordered, and as soon as they come in, they'll be installed.
Good. And also just, the police were there, I think this past weekend, at some point over the weekend, they were strategically placed where the people wouldn't see them, and
Right.
sure enough, zoop right around.
Oh, yeah.
So it's good that at least the police are monitoring that
Yes.
intersection as well, so we as residents there appreciate it because it's, we just, aside from car accidents, God forbid there's a fatality, so we appreciate it.
Understood.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On that, Vince, are they gonna do something? We have a situation on Clarendon with the new stop signs. Those trees on that one guy's property is gonna have to, I don't know how we don't make them take them down. They're in the line of sight of the stop sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, you actually, we had to put a stop sign in the middle of the street on the ground. Otherwise, you wouldn't see a stop sign. So we have to address that. We're gonna have to knock on the door and say, hey, we got a problem here. So that's gotta get done. It's dangerous, because if by chance that stop sign gets knocked over and nobody sees it, and the next person comes through, we can barrel right into somebody. All right. Any other members of the public? Oh, I'm sorry. Sissy?
I just want to say peace and blessings to everyone. And I had to come here on your last night. I remember when you guys first came in office, how elated we were in the community, in the city of Hackensack. And somewhat we still are, but things just happen. So I want to congratulate you on whatever you do going forward, and hope to see you at city council meetings. I have a bunch of thank yous I want to give out. I want to thank Franco for coming over and putting up my handicap sign. Oh my God, it looks, that's my sign and my street painting. It looks beautiful. He did a nice job, but guess what? Now my electric chair that comes down my steps for outside doesn't work, so now I gotta get a new one. So my sons and my brothers and all of them brought my aunt down for the Juneteenth celebration manually, manpower, old school way. So I wanted to thank him. I wanted to thank Jerry for being there and supporting us. I don't know if I saw any of you guys there because I was getting the fashion show ready, so I was inside the building. So I don't know if any of y'all come.
No, I wasn't there. I was away this weekend.
Okay, I know you and Leo came last year. Want to thank Press. I especially want to thank Steve. Steve had death in the family that week, so he had to leave on Thursday. I think he got back on Saturday. He was tired as hell, but he pushed everything through. He did a good job. The parade was lovely. I don't know if any of y'all were there for the parade. Jerry, I know you were there, so thank you for your support. I want to thank Hackensack High School Band. They led the parade. Mr. Abraham, he had our jazz band there when I did my fashion show, which was wonderful. And J.T. Taylor Way, I don't have a program, but what did you say about that?
So the deal with that is, stop her time, Frank. Thank you. So we all know who J.T. Taylor is.
That's my cousin, so I know who he is.
Yeah, so I can't think of his brother's name.
Derek?
Derek wrote us, he wrote me an email about naming Clay Street. I'm thinking Coles. It's Clay Street, J.T. Taylor Way. And we passed a resolution tonight that's going to do just that. The next council will have the honor of unveiling that sign, but I'm sure we can probably make it. I'd love to see him. I haven't seen him in a long time. But to have a Hall of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, Songwriter Hall of Famer. He's one of two, what I consider from our era, great musicians from the city of Hackensack and singers that are out there today. And yeah, it's nice to have our hometown kids do well.
Yes, it is.
So he's going to be honored with that.
Definitely.
Yep.
And this is probably not going to be for you. This is probably going to be for you, Kasim. I have a couple of community complaints about the parking that's going to be.
Oh, it's for Kasim.
I know that was tabled, right? Huh? What'd you say? Oh, yeah, it's going to be.
Sorry, buddy.
It's going to be on your shoulder,
It
Kasim.
comes with the turf, dude.
So what's happening is a lot of apartments, not a lot, I don't know how many. I know the one on Berry and Park Street. I think they're starting to charge tenants for parking. So what they're doing, they're parking on the street. I also got a complaint from a person coming in tonight, and I said, I'll give you the update. They gave me the phone number, they just left. So they said people from 230, which is the apartment building, instead of them parking in the lot, they're also parking on the street. So what I told them, I said their registration and address has to match. If it doesn't match, I don't think they're going to be able to get a sticker. I'm not sure how it's going to go.
230 is
I know
part of
it's
the housing authority, isn't it?
Yes, and they
So,
have a parking
I don't
lot,
know
but
how
some
they-
people have more than 2 cars. I guess they're parking on the
You think
street.
they're charging to park at the housing authority now?
No, not at the park, not
Oh,
at the
okay.
housing. In
Right,
the private
just the other
apartment
one.
on,
Yeah.
I think that's Berry and Park Street. So
Mhm.
some of the residents in that area told me that's what was going on.
Okay.
So, I'm just mentioning it, Kasim. So that's going to be a future
We can
concern.
look into it, and then we can hand the ball off. All right?
Yeah, have to pass that buck.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Next person, please.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you?
I'm Helen Rusher McFadden. I'm here to address the parking also on High Street. We did receive a letter, and they said that we would get a parking sticker for that residential area. Now, on the letter that we received from you, where it says they want to, let me see. I want to share my concern regarding restriction that listed on the letter we received about the parking permits. The limitation on the late hours are not what we need. It is not just an overnight parking issue. It is all day long and every day. So this proposal would be to issue parking permit that do not allow for parking at non-resident for more than 2 hours. Because, I mean, where they park, we have to switch over from side to clean. And then they'll bring their car and leave it there 3 and 4 days until it's time for them to move in, and it's not right because we don't have driveways there. And we are trying to let everybody park on that street, all the residents that park on that street. Like she was saying, some people live in the apartment building. They don't want to pay the extra stall up there. They'll come and park there on High Street. There's the school parks there, the hospital parks there. So we are here. They did give us to date to come back to the meeting, so I'm here.
So could you give your information to the city manager?
Yes, this-
Because if the hours are wrong, we might have, could have made a mistake there. Yeah,
Oh, we did?
okay.
Yeah, because we had other questions, yeah.
Yep,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome. Anyone else from the public?
Walking slower now.
Yeah.
A lot slower than the 12 years ago when you guys took over. But I want to start by thanking you for honoring Tony Marcellia, and also at the last minute mentioning the Rotary Club, and also his dedicated years of service to his church, Holy Trinity Church in Hackensack, where he's been a member for so long. And we're grateful for that. And we're grateful for what you guys have done over the last 12 years. In John's case, 16. And in Jerry's case, it was 4, but everybody contributed. Stephanie, 8, I guess, Steve, forever. But it's a great council. You've done a lot of things that a lot of people are very, very grateful for. It really is everything that meets the eye. Some of the stuff doesn't meet the eye, like infrastructure, and you should be commended for all of that. Everything doesn't always work out. There are some things maybe you should have done better. There are complaints from the community that obviously people were not happy with. And we have a new administration to take your place, and it's time to pass the baton. But you should be proud of what you've accomplished. I think all in all, you guys have done an outstanding job. I wish Kasim and company, I hate to say company because I know you all have names.
Whoa.
And I am falling over. If the new administration doesn't do well, the city doesn't do well, we don't do well. So we know they're going to be very successful, and they're going to carry on a lot of the projects that you've already established, and where they see newer opportunities, they'll be able to break new ground. So thank you very much for everything you've done. I really appreciate having been working with you over all these years, and thanks for everything.
Thank you.
And I found one other thing too. I could have learned a lot more about the city if I had followed Sissy around a little bit more frequently, to see what's happening. Thanks
Yep.
again.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pete.
Sir?
How's it going, Mayor and Council? William Smith, 808 Main Street, City of Hackensack. Yes, I appreciate everything what you guys did over over the years. John, you knew my father when he was alive. He's not here tonight. Unfortunately, he passed away last year.
Sorry to hear that. I didn't know
Thank
that.
you. And he was up in Hackensack Meridian Health at the time when he was going for X-rays. I just want to say thank you for helping my father out when he was in time of need and he wasn't here. So I just want to say thank you for everything that you guys did.
Thank you, sir.
In the city. So there's kinds of concerns that I'm concerned about and maybe you can bring it up into the next new people here that are coming up for there. But I would like to make a request. My dad was a retired New York City firefighter, and I would like to have the name Main Street from Vida Margarita all the way up to Route 4, named after my father, William J. Smith. And I don't know how I can go about that, but I would like to do that in his honor, because he was always participative here in the meetings and stuff like that. So I don't know how I can go about it to try to rename the street after his name, because Engine 5 was there numerous times when he had problems with his diabetes, went into diabetic coma. Engine 5 always responded. Officers from the Hackensack Police Department always had a black and white respond to my house to take care of them, take care of my father and stuff like that. So, and from my mother has, I really don't want to get into it, but she's got a medical condition. But if you could put two and two together, it would be in something for her that she can remember when the time that she decides to leave the earth, And I have a 24-hour care person in my house taking care of my mom when I'm out, handling my business with my security business and stuff. So how do I go about that? But I would really like to see.
Give your name and information to the deputy clerk, and
All right.
we'll go from there.
Yeah, and it's been pretty good and stuff. So, and hopefully that the new council comes in and
Well,
takes.
this will be one of
picks up.
those, like I said before, a
Yeah.
handoff. We can start with getting the information, but we'd have to hand it off.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
So, anyway, I just want to say congratulations to all you guys that put the city together, keep everything going. So, and I hope to see you, John. Hopefully, see you at the in the meetings on the other side.
Yep.
And hopefully it can continue. So,
I don't
be
know.
safe, brother.
We'll see. Take
Okay.
care. Thank you.
Take care.
Make sure you give her the information, though.
You got it. Sure. Okay. All right. On the bottom. Okay. Definitely. Thank you.
Ms. Cooper?
Hi. I just want to add to what I was saying about Mr. Marseglia before I start, because I was so caught off guard. I should have been better prepared, but I just wanted to add, Tony, that you were such a mentor to me, and I really appreciate all of your help over the years. So thank you just so much. It was really a pleasure working with you, and I'm excited to continue to work with you. But I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but Christy and I really just wanted to thank Stephanie for being such a great liaison to the library board and for being so supportive, attending so many of our programs with your beautiful family, and just, I'm really going to miss working with you. And of course, you too, John. LaBrosse the boss, I call him. So I wish you continued happiness and whatever is beyond this for you. And I don't know, you want to add anything?
John and Stephanie both served on the library board, and we appreciate that very much. And the
pleasure.
council's support of the library, and we wish you all well, and we welcome the new council as well. So thank you and good luck.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. I don't see anybody else getting up, so I think I can. Uh-oh. I'm in trouble now. What, you write a book? I need more paper.
Okay, first of all, I want to thank all of you for the
Microphone.
I want to thank all of you
Wait,
for
wait,
the
you
time
need to
put
state your
in.
name for the record, please.
I'm Debbie LaBrosse, and I live at 18 Brook Street. Okay, I'm going to address my husband with this speech, but different parts will apply to the different council members too, so know it also applies to you. 45 years ago, we chose to purchase a house in Hackensack because of its diversity and how the school system offered so much more to students compared to what other towns did. About 10 years later, we started to hear talk about rebuilding Main Street. Instead, though, we saw the blight on Main Street grow, its properties devalued year after year. People didn't feel safe walking Main Street at night. Englewood's, Montclair's, and other towns' main streets were flourishing, but not ours. And it wasn't until that mayor left and the rotating mayors were elected that the movement started towards rebuilding Main Street. I thank them for that. Your first test as mayor came quickly. Some of your supporters said you needed to clean City Hall and fire people just because they were on the other side. You refused and lost their support, but this is one of the things I'm most proud of you for. You showed dignity and the ability to do what is right, even if doing so made things difficult for you. From the beginning, you and the council were devoted to the development of Main Street. You joined in with the county's initiative to reduce and try to eliminate the homelessness in our city, and you stopped other towns from bringing their homelessness to our Main Street and leaving them there. You returned Main Street back into a two-way street, which you know I was totally against, but today I can admit that you were right and my thinking proved to be wrong. Little by little, the developers became interested in Hackensack, and the transformation of Main Street has been tremendous and probably what you will be most remembered for. Main Street is now safe, it's alive and vibrant, a sharp contrast to what it was. Separating the sewers is another huge accomplishment, and again, we heard for years about how it was much needed but never attempted because it was so expensive. Your use of pilot money and grants has allowed the sewers to have been separated in many areas without a tremendous tax burden to the residents, and I can only hope this will continue until complete. Other accomplishments are the new recreation center, big or beautiful, enjoyed daily by so many, major renovations to all the parks. I was going to list them, but I wouldn't have the time. The community garden gets bigger and better each year. I remember joking about the Joni Mitchell song Big Yellow Taxi when she sings they paved paradise and put up a parking lot. You and your council did the opposite. You tore down a parking lot and you put up the Atlantic Street Park. How awesome is that? Every year, many city events occur there, and even those who originally opposed it now have admitted its worth. A lot of effort has been put into water abatement, and hopefully that will be continued by the new council. The $33 million deficit you found from prior administrations for unpaid tax bills has been paid during your tenure, and you now leave the city surplus money instead. Kathy, I know you played a huge part in getting this done, so thank you. I hope the new administration has someone as talented as you are in that area. You and your various council members were able to accomplish all the above and so much more. You made choices based on what you believed was right for the city and refused to answer to any political power people. When you were first elected, I remember telling you not to get a big head just because you're the mayor. I said the title alone means nothing. It's what you do with the position that matters. And as I stand here, I hope I don't cry. Your role as mayor of Hackensack will soon be ending, and I can unequivocally say, although you lost this election, you can and should hold your head high. Not because you were mayor for 12 years, but because what you did for Hackensack during that time. You have filled the position as mayor with dignity and respect, and I couldn't be prouder of you than I am right now. This goes to anybody who had a part in this. To the new mayor and council, I wish you success in all you do that will benefit the city, and I hope when your time is up, you will also be able to hold your head high.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you.
That was unexpected. Thank you. By the way, what's for dinner? Yeah. Are you leaving or speaking, ma'am? All right, see you later. It's my next door neighbor. I could talk to her like that.
I'll speak to you later.
Okay. If that's it, I'm going to make a motion.
I just want to say, because this is
Oh, that's right. You got it.
probably my last time sitting up here, standing up here. And I definitely was not going to, call her for going over time.
Yeah.
But just to say thank you for the opportunity to serve. It's been a privilege. You've been some of the finest public officials I've had the chance to work with. So just want to say thank you. Thank you to the clerk. Thank you to everyone up here. Thank you to the city manager. So
Thank you, Steve.
Best of
Appreciate it.
luck.
Yep, going to miss you. But we'll still play golf together, so.
anytime.
Yep. So motion to close to the public.
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 None opposed. So Stephanie, you're up.
Sure. So, of course, when I have a long speech to give, I have a little bit of a cold, so sorry for my voice, but I can't believe we're here. It's our last meeting. I just want to start by congratulating Mr. Marseglia and our mayor on their recognition tonight. I had the honor of working alongside both of you, and you're both perfect examples of what a gentleman should be, and your dedication to the city is unwavering. Mr. Marseglia, the only wish I had was that my children had the honor of going to school under your leadership. I wish they could have been part of that, but I'm glad that you're retired and on your way to bigger and better things. Someone recently asked me if you could do it all over again, would you? And I paused and I really had to think about it. My youngest child was just under 2 years old when I first took office. And I used to, go around with a stroller and we were campaigning, and it was, she's 9 now. I thought about all the time away from my family, not just the missed games and school events or not being there for bedtime. That's the hard part, but the hardest part is the times when your name is dragged through the mud and then your children ask you, questions, and they come home hurt and confused. That's the part that no one sees. But then I thought about the condition of the city 8 years ago, and I look at what it is now. And I'm reminded what these last 8 years were actually about. And just look what has been accomplished in these 8 years. The new M&M building, Stide Park, Carver Park, splash pads, the community garden, Hack Pack, Atlantic Street Park, flood control mechanisms, including the sewer separation, continuing redevelopment, which continues to bring in new business, new residents in addition to revenue into the city, a new home for our building department, the approval and securing of grants for Foschini Park site improvements, Johnson Park improvements, Main Street two-way conversions, streetscapes on Main Street, handicap accessible ramps citywide, Anderson Street improvements, successful agreement with the hospital to bring in more revenue, breaking ground on the Dome project, one of the first municipally owned indoor multi-sport facilities, paying off 30 million tax appeals left by the previous administration, and successfully negotiating a new flight path with the FAA at Teterboro. Of course, not all of these are just me. Most of them are from John and Kathy, who are here before me, but I had the privilege of coming in and seeing those things come to fruition or beginning those new projects. 8 years is a short time. It's a long time when you're up here, but it's a short time to have all those projects completed or began. And I challenge anyone else to find a municipality that's accomplished even half of that in that amount of time, because it's a lot. To the deputy mayor, and Leo, I know he's not here. I have never met 3 people more dedicated to a mission than the 3 of you. Your love for the city is only matched by your love for your families, and I know how much you cherish your grandchildren. And still, there were so many times you were asked to put Hackensack first, and you did. When I started this journey, the 3 of you were already well on your way to transforming the city. We believed in the same mission for Hackensack. That's how I came to be on the team. And that vision went beyond how the city looked. It started with a simple but powerful question: why not our city? Why not our residents? We were adamant that our residents deserve the best of the best Main Street, the best roads, the best parks, the best opportunities. When I moved here in 2007, that was one of the things I was so confused about. This was a beautiful city. It had so much to offer, but it was blighted, and there was so much more we could do. And I remember just looking around at other towns where my friends and family lived and saying, we deserve that too. We deserve that Main Street. We deserve nice roads. And here it is. We have it now. And it's because of the 2 of you starting everything. We may not have always agreed. We've cast different votes, but I can say with 100% certainty, every vote we cast was what we truly believed was best for our residents. No one ever told us how to vote. There were no influences or favors we were owing anyone. We made our decisions based on what we believed was right for Hackensack and its residents. To our city employees, our police department, fire department, DPW, technology, building, finance, health, recreation, and library staff, thank you. Thank you for your unwavering commitment, for the work you do day in and day out to keep the city running safe and thriving. To our business owners, thank you for believing in Hackensack. Thank you for choosing the city as a place to build your dreams, establish your livelihoods, and serve our community. Your investment in our city has helped shape its growth and success. To our administrative team, especially Deb, Allison, Vinny, Jim, Frank, Leo, Della, and our city attorney, Steve. I can't forget Ted and Jackie either, but so many late nights, last-minute changes, intense conversations. You've shown up time and again, and you've gone above and beyond for all of us. We thank you for everything, and I'll always cherish our laughs and our good talks. It was a great team. Everyone was like family here. To my library board family, some of who are here tonight, I've never met a more dedicated board. For anyone who thinks all library board does is discuss books, you're wrong. The Johnson Public Library Board is one of the most innovative, passionate, and genuinely kind group of trustees I've ever worked with. It was an honor to be there when our current director, Tara, was hired. Since then, the library has blossomed with exciting new initiatives, programs, and community events. And that is thanks to this board. Your commitment to not only literacy, but equity and inclusion, education, and innovation has truly made Johnson Public Library a cornerstone of the city's progress. John and Kathy, as a Hackensack resident, I'm devastated that you won't be serving another term to finish what you started. But as your friend and your work daughter, I'm also so happy for you. both. You have dedicated your lives to the city. Now it's time to dedicate time to yourselves, to your family, and maybe even pick up some new hobbies. I love you both. You deserve all the rest and relaxation in this next chapter. To my family, thank you for your patience, your love, and your endless support. 8 years is a long time, and I'm so proud that you've been part of this experience. To Evan, Ben, and Gigi, you were raised watching what hard work, dedication, and public service looks like, and I already see those values in each of you, in your community service, in your compassion for others, in how hard you work in school and sports. You make me proud every single day. And to my parents and mother-in-law for being there to cook dinners, ensure the kids were bathed before bed, and help out with homework on meeting nights. To my husband, Eric, thank you for always being there, for waiting up for me after late meetings, sometimes with a glass of wine if it was a really exciting one, and always with an open heart to listen. And lastly, to our residents, thank you. Thank you for being part of this community. Thank you for showing up to our meetings, for sharing your stories, for voicing your concerns. And to all our volunteers, board members, coaches, advocates, thank you for your time and effort. They don't go unnoticed, and we appreciate you. I believe Hackensack is stronger today because of the hard work over the past 12 years, and I will always be proud to have played a part in that alongside our residents, business owners, employees, and my fellow council members. So in conclusion, yes, these past 8 years were worth it, and I would do it again with you two in a heartbeat. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Steph.
Steph. Well, folks, I guess you're in for a lot of revisiting of some of the last 12 years, but I'll try and be as brief as I can as I talk through some of the things that I think this whole council should be very, very proud of. Of course, Main Street. Main Street never looked better. You know, when we first started this initiative, John and I mean, you know, we worked very closely with the homeless shelter, with Thank God for Julia Orlando, Mike Mordaga. We put the Quality of Life Initiative in place. And, you know, Main Street had to go through a real cleanup before we could even think about development. And all of those things, again, took a lot of hard work and some blood, sweat, and tears. But we got it started, and then it took off, and it was like fire that couldn't really stop. Thanks to the Alliance for keeping the downtown as pretty as it is. They do a wonderful job. They're very committed folks, and they take care of our flowers, and they make sure the streets are clean, and they work well with the businesses. And they're providing lots of entertainment and fun things and reasons for people to want to come to downtown Hackensack. And they're a very important part of what's going on. Some of the downtown, the two-way conversion, remember that day, John? We stood in the middle of the street back to back, so we have some cute pictures of that.
Yep.
But, you know, it was a major accomplishment. It was something that really I pushed so hard. It was something my husband, Emil, wanted so desperately. And he didn't live to see it. We did it, and just shortly after he passed away, and certainly we spoke about him that day, and in memory of him. It was something that he really believed we needed to do to have this downtown return to the vibrant downtown that it currently is. The Hack Pack, I mean, what can I say? The Performing Arts Center, I mean, you know, that was a wonderful turnaround. We received a Historic Preservation Award from the county for that. If many of you don't know, that they're the original chandeliers that were there. We had to have one fabricated because we were one short, but you know, we tried to restore it in the best way and the most lovingly way we could, and it's here for everyone to enjoy. We brought a lot of new folks into the downtown. Yes, there's new buildings. Yes, there's people that are loving it. We certainly, John and I, and some of the Marlene and some of our new folks that ran with us in this last election, we made visits to many of them and spent mornings with some of the new residents who just loved Hackensack. I don't think we met one person that wasn't boasting about how happy they were here and how they enjoyed being part of Hackensack and feeling part of a family, having parks, and many of them that came from Jersey City and Hoboken and were saying, I'm not walking shoulder to shoulder. And, you know, I'm really enjoying being in Hackensack, and very, very, very much. And it's helping us, you know, in 2024, of course I have to talk numbers because that's who I am. In 2024, we saw, you know, $10 million in revenue coming from the downtown. And that went right to the bottom line, folks. So that's what's helping us try to keep our taxes as clean and as close to normal as we possibly can. And if we do nothing else, contracts that are in place right now, and I'm saying this to our new folks that are coming in, you know, if those contracts just execute, that in 5 years, that 10 million will be at least 19 million. So, you know, they're all set in place, everything's strategically planned, and that revenue is great because that's what we need in the city to stabilize and to control our finances. City finances, again, they've never been better. CFO sitting here, you know, our S&P rating is a AA1, which means we're only one step below a AAA, right, Jim? So we're really, really close. And, you know, 12 years ago, believe it or not, we were pretty close to bankruptcy. I mean, we only had $1.4 million in surplus, and we were $30 million in tax appeals in a drawer. All of that $30 million is entirely paid off, and our $1.4 million of surplus is up to 21.8 million, I think, Jim. Yes, and which is pretty much what the state of New Jersey and what the people that rate us financially are looking for. Having surplus, that's what's stabilizing the taxes. That's when we're in an emergency situation, when things happen, when COVID hit. You know, we have the ability to keep things in an even keel. We don't have to transfer, you know, sporadically to our residents, and we're very, very proud of that. When we came into office, we saw from 2004 to 2014, you saw years where the city taxes, we can only talk about the city, that's all we can control, they were as high as 12.5% increases some years, 10%, 6%. So we came in and we set a target of never going over 4 and trying to never go over 2. You know, and in the last number of years, we had 3 years with 0 increase in city tax levy. None, 0. Because COVID hit, and we had a couple of years still under 4. And this year, we're back down to less than 1% increase on the city side, 0.7%. And we're proud of that as a council. We're proud of the city and the employees who make that happen, work together with the CFO, and suck it in and cut expenditures when they need to make things work for our residents. And that's what's important, that everyone understands and really works well together. What have we accomplished that you can take a look at? Look at the M&M Recreation Building for our kids. I mean, it's gorgeous. Parks, I think we made changes to, last count, 10 different parks have had fairly significant improvements in the last number of years. We've paved 179 streets, and we're continuing to do more. The sewer work, nobody wants to do sewer work because you can't see it and you can't really appreciate it, but it's important. And, you know, you look at, you know, weather changes and other towns that have had significant flooding. Yes, we still have work to do when we're passing that torch onto the new council. But, you know, it's a major improvement. And how you know it's improved? Yes, in a terrible storm, you're going to see some flooding on River Street. But guess what? It's gone in hours. That shows that it's working. It used to take days where it would be flooded before it would recede. So these are the things that we as a council, we saw that vision, we knew they were important, and things that I think, all need to be very, very proud of the legacy that we're leaving behind. Thanks to everyone, again, all of our council members, attorneys, clerks, employees, CFO, Albert, our redevelopment director, planning board, finance committee, budget committees, all the many things, my Tannak Airport that I go to quarterly for the city. You know, thanks to all the folks and all the pleasure that I've derived from it. I know it's been a lot of work, like Stephanie said, but it really brought me joy, and I really enjoyed doing it for the city. And I wish the new council well. I love this city, and all I hope for is that you show your love for it as much as we have. And I'm offering up, I'm here if you ever want someone or need some help or have questions or things you just want to ask historically, I'm here to help you. And I look forward to the next number of years and hopefully seeing the good work in the city continue. Thank you, folks.
Thank you. Mr. Carroll.
Yes. This past Sunday, our city held our Juneteenth celebration at Carver Park. And I'd like to thank our Recreation Department and the Elevate Hackensack Group, along with our DPW and many others, for putting on a fantastic event. I'd like to point out that our New Jersey Senators, Gordon Johnson and Benji Wembley, and the president of NAACP took time out of their busy schedules to also attend this great event. Tonight's my last meeting as your city councilman. I'd like you to know, as a lifelong resident of this great city of Hackensack, I have been deeply committed to its growth, improvement through my extensive service in education, community involvement, and local governance. I continue to live by the values of service, community, and education that have defined my career. I will continue focusing on making Hackensack a better place for all residents, and I will continue to fight for the community that has supported me throughout my life, striving to create opportunities for the city's future while honoring its past. In closing, let's remember that school is out and there'll be many more children playing, riding bikes, and walking in the streets. Be careful while driving. I would like to thank everyone for attending this meeting physically and remotely. Take care, get home safe, and God bless.
Thank you, Joe. So, this is it, huh? So let me start out by saying it's been an honor and a privilege to serve both as a councilman and the mayor of this great city of Hackensack. So this all started back in 2008. Kathy, Leo, and I and others became involved in local politics. As usual, there were several issues going on in the city, hot issues, and we decided to get involved in what would turn into us running for the city council in May of 2009. Unfortunately, I was the only one from our ticket to get a seat on the council, and it was a very close election. Like you said, 37 votes. Those 4 years served as a time of learning, not just for me, but for Kathy at that time as well. Kathy, I believe, attended every single council meeting except for when she was on vacation. So I served my 4 years, and I must say I owe so much to the people who supported me during those 4 years. It wasn't easy, especially Kathy and Leo. Kathy, like I said, made almost every meeting for 4 years, and Leo made quite a few. So anyway, the 4 years were over, and we had decided to give it another go in 2013. This time we swept. We were elated, much like Hackensack United, I'm sure, is elated right now. Politics is a crazy game, and you never know really what's going to happen. I want to wish the new council the best of luck and success over the next 4 years. The only advice I could possibly give you is watch out for those occasional curveballs, because they come out of nowhere, all right? I want to thank all of our employees that have been with us for the last 12 years, especially Debbie, Allison, the rest of the staff in the clerk's office, Al Dibb, who bought into our dream of rebuilding our downtown. He's been a true professional. He's our historian, and we owe Albert a great deal of gratitude and thanks for what he's done. A special thanks to Vincent Caruso, who has navigated the ship for the last 4+ years. A special thanks to the late, great Ted Ehrenberg, who we all loved, and he loved Hackensack like he had lived here all his life. Special thanks to probably the best CFO in Jersey, Mr. Jim Mangan. The guy is amazing. Also the building department, our zoning board, our zoning officer, Bridget. Great people. Special thanks to fire department, our police department, our DPW, our sanitation department, as well as our rec department, finance department, tax department, the staff in the manager's office, our parking utility staff, our health department, and our municipal court. And we've also had so many great professionals along the way, too many to mention, but there are some that deserve to be recognized this evening. Our city attorney, Mr. Steve Kleiman, our redevelopment attorneys, Brian Nelson and Mike Hanley, without a doubt, hands down, the best at what they do. Joe Mecca, and from Nagler Engineering, Greg Poliniak from our planning board. Special thanks to a great planning board. They have done a great job for the city through our time on the council. I want to thank the Main Street Alliance, especially Jerry Lombardo, Brian Akamian, and the late, great Ed Decker, along with all the other Alliance members. And speaking of Ed Decker, Ed was an integral part of getting the Hack Pack up and running, and is responsible for the Pack the House series, which today still brings in high-level talent to perform in what I feel is the best little concert venue around. I want to thank our director of the Hack Pack, Greg Leosi, who has been an integral part of the events that happen in our theater. I need to recognize and thank Vision Media. Paul Swabinski and his son Phil have been a great resource for us through our years. There's so many people to thank, and if I missed a department or a professional, please accept our thanks and gratitude. And of course, I want to thank not just the City Council, but anyone who served with us since 2013. Jerry, it's been a long, strange trip, and as we all know, things happen for a reason, and I thank you for your time and your work on this city council. We appreciate it, especially with Fashini Park. I wish you nothing but good health and happiness in the future. Steph, it's been an honor and a privilege working with you. It's been fun watching you grow from a shy young girl pushing that stroller. A little slip there. A shy young mom into a force to be reckoned with. I know you're moving on from our city, but we know you will never forget Hackensack. And best of luck. And I'm sure we'll hear from you because that is who you are. So, Leo, you're not here, but I'm going to talk to you anyway. Leo, I will miss your sense of humor, your passion for soccer, your love of family, but what I will miss most of all is how whenever you got a call from us, you were there in an instant. When our dear friend Emil became ill, you were there for your good friend. Your loyalty and help to Emil and Kathy was always steadfast and always there, and we owe you a big thank you for that. Kathy, what can I say? I've learned so much from you over the years. I can honestly say I've received one of the best educations a person could ever have. You know, when two people who work together who think alike, well, it made it a little bit easier. Yes, we've had our moments, and sometimes they'd not agree, but at the end of the day, what it always came down to was that we thought what was best for the city. You have been a rock through some very hard times. Losing Emil was a very hard time, but with the help of family and friends, you got through it. I know Emil has been watching, and he's given me permission to drive you up and down Main Street when we leave certain meetings, because that's my wife. I drive my wife up and down Main Street, she goes crazy. But yeah, I take Kathy for drives on Main Street on the way home, because that's what we do.
Those of you that don't know, wherever we were, when we were coming home, I was going to say, can we just take a drive down Main Street?
Yep.
And, you know, it brought back again. He was born and raised, lived in Hackensack his whole life, and it was really the love of his life. So thank you for remembering, John.
Oh, you're welcome. So we're taking you up and down Main Street so we could see all the progress that was going on. You and I will never forget all the battles, the wins and the losses, the hard times, the fun times, but most of all, we'll never forget how we brought this downtown back to life. Someday your grandchildren will be driving their kids down Main Street and they will say, Grandma did this. And I hope the same for my grandkids as well. So, so for you and I, this is not goodbye, but what's next? We are both busybodies who won't sit around for too long, so I'm looking forward to what the future brings. For now, though, it's time for some needed time off, so enjoy La Valette and your family. Well, the only thing left to talk about now is my experience. So in my opening, I said that it's been an honor and a privilege to serve the city for the last 16 years, and I truly mean that. I am living proof of the age-old lesson of if you want something and you set your goals and priorities, anything can be achieved. I come from humble stock and have been a blue-collar worker for most of my life. I owe so much to so many. We worked hard, and from that I learned the importance of having a good work ethic. I am proud of my blue-collar heritage and would not trade it for the world. That's why I was so happy to see these blue-collar workers, union guys here tonight. That said, you could probably count on one hand how many blue-collar workers go on to become a mayor. I learned early that if you don't step forward, you will go nowhere. If you do not ask the question, the answer will always be no. And the key to winning was to work harder than the other guy. The lessons instilled in me by others is the reason for any success I have achieved. So I am not only honored and privileged, but I am proud of what I've been able to do. But the pride isn't just for me, but for all the people who helped me along the way. So to all of them I say, look what we have done. God has blessed me with a good wife, 2 successful sons, 6 wonderful grandkids, and to them I say thank you for understanding and allowing me to take on this challenge. You know, for everything you win, there's something lost. When you enter into a venture like this, you do it knowing you are going to miss certain things. A dance recital, a ball game, wrestling match, a school play, or someone's first band concert. Well, I'm happy to say I won't be missing as many of these, and it is time to catch up for lost time. Lost time with my wife, lost time with my kids and my grandkids, and my lost time with friends. And last but not least, I want to thank the citizens of our great city. Thank you for allowing myself and the city council to navigate the ship for the last 12 years. It was a good run, and a lot of great things have been accomplished. I'm looking forward to still driving up and down Main Street, as I am sure there are more great things to come to Hackensack. God bless all of you, and it's been a blast being part of this. Thank you. And with that, we need a motion to close this meeting.
Offer.
Second.
Let's do roll call.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye, aye. So I wish everybody, thanks for coming tonight, all of you supporters, everybody that's here. Have a safe trip home, and we'll see you all soon. Thank you.
Yeah.
See me on Main Street.